Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into one of the big ones, Genesis chapter 6. We're going to unpack the really dramatic events that the source tells us led God to send a massive flood and, completely wash the world clean.
So to really get this story, we've got to start with the big question, the one that's right at the heart of it all. What could possibly make the world so wicked that the only solution was to wash it all away? All right, first up, the wicked sons of God. The subtitle here is How a Righteous Line Began to Fall. So our story really kicks off when the human population is just exploding all over the planet. But as more people show up, this really critical divide starts to form.
Okay, so first things first, we need to get our terms straight. When the text talks about the sons of God, what does that actually mean? Well, it's not talking about angels or anything supernatural. The source is really clear here. This is the name for the line of people who were righteous, the ones who followed God.
So what you've got here is this really clear split in early human society. On one side, you have the sons of God. These are the faithful ones. And on the other side, you have the daughters of men, which represents this growing population of people who just weren't following God. It's literally a world divided.
And this is the turning point. The source says that when that righteous line, the sons of God, started marrying women who weren't part of their faith, well, that's what triggered this huge spiritual decay. The number of people following God just started to plummet.
And all this growing wickedness? It had a direct, and you could even say biological consequence. According to the text, God basically says, "My spirit won't put up with humanity forever." And just like that, those incredibly long lifespans people used to have, capped at 120 years.
Okay, next section, Hearts of Mankind, Evil. The subtitle, A Divine Reaction to a World Gone Wrong. So now we're going to see how all of this wickedness builds up to a super dramatic, pivotal decision. I mean, the situation on Earth had gone from bad to way, way worse. And that prompted a pretty severe reaction from God.
Man, this is such a powerful way to put it. It wasn't just that people were doing bad things. The source says the corruption was total. It had gotten into the very core of who they were. And see that focus on the heart? That's absolutely key. It's suggesting the problem wasn't just, their actions, but the very root of what they wanted, what they intended.
And this all leads to a, heartbreaking declaration. God actually expresses regret, this deep sense of grief over what he's created, and he decides he has to start over, to just wipe the slate clean. And we're not just talking about mankind here, but all life on Earth. So now we have Noah is given grace, subtitle, An Exception in a Corrupt World. So right when it looks like it's all over, that total destruction is the only answer, the story throws in this single glimmer of hope. In a world that's just totally consumed by evil, there was one guy who stood apart. And this just perfectly shows you the stark contrast, right? You have the entire Earth described as corrupt, filled with violence. All of humanity has just completely lost its way. And then you have Noah. He's described as a just man, perfect in his time, a guy who walked with God. It's like night and day.
But hey, this grace wasn't just for Noah himself. The text is super clear that his immediate family was included too. That's his wife and his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. They were all part of this righteous household. And that brings us to our next section, commanded to make an ark, a monumental task for survival. So, okay, the good guy has been found. Now the plan shifts. It's not about total destruction anymore. It's about a preservation mission. And this mission, it kicks off with a command of truly epic proportions.
So Noah is told to build this massive vessel, an ark, and the instructions he gets are incredibly specific. We're talking a 3-story structure made out of something called gopher wood. And get this, it's supposed to be 500 feet long. To put that in perspective, that's about 1.5 football fields. I mean, what a monumental, absolutely huge undertaking.
And let's be clear, the whole point of this thing, this was not just a boat for Noah and his family to escape on. No way. It was meant to be a floating sanctuary, a vessel designed for one single purpose, to preserve life through a catastrophic global flood that was going to destroy everything else.
Next up, a covenant is made, and the subtitle, The Terms of Salvation Are Set. So, along with the blueprints for this giant ark, God also sets up what the text calls a covenant. Now, this is a really key idea.
It's more than just an order, it's like a sacred, binding promise that lays out all the terms for survival.
So what were the terms of this covenant? Pretty straightforward, actually. Number 1, your family gets to come into the ark. You're all safe. Number 2, you need to bring 2 of every living thing, a male and a female, so you can repopulate the earth later. And number 3, you've got to bring all the food you'll need for everyone on board.
And the whole section wraps up with this one simple but honestly incredibly profound statement. Just think about it. Faced with a task that must have seemed impossible, not to mention all the ridicule he probably got from his neighbors, Noah did everything exactly as God commanded him. His obedience was just total. So, when you boil it all down, this whole ancient story really hinges on one big idea, that in a world just spiraling into corruption, it was the righteous actions of one single person and his family that were the key to saving, well, everything. And that leaves us with a pretty big thought to chew on, doesn't it? What would that kind of thing, one person's actions, saving the world, what would that even look like today?